where the wood started. I had acquired some walnut logs from a neighbor after the tree fell down in his yard. I rough milled the boards with my chainsaw and an apparatus I bought from Amazon. This is over a year ago, before I ever knew what I'd be doing with the wood. It sat in my shop for the year and a half, drying. I bought the rough sawn pine from the local Amish sawmill. They were 1 by 12 by 10 foot boards. I had them drying for a year, still waiting on a project to pop into view. Then on September 18th this year, last year actually, 22, I got a message out of the blue from my daughter. Hadn't seen her in 5 decades. I thought I'd never see her again or hear from her. It changed everything. Before I knew it, we were talking every day, getting to know each other. Pretty soon a trip was planned. Now I needed to get to work because I had no guest bed. This was the perfect excuse to start a project. Use this wood. The Jenny bed. Here I'm beginning the routing process of many boards that will be dimensioned, machined, and assembled into said bed. Here in this process, I'm dimensioning the 1 by 2s for the frame of the mattress support system that will hold the weight of the mattress and the humans therein. So now, I put all these little pieces together and make a bed frame. Here's the other pieces. So far, that's the sides. There's a couple more sides right there. That's the ends. They're all labeled. So, I'm thinking I got enough wood, the way it's shaping up. I just went and bought 1 by 2s. So I wouldn't have to cut up those boards to do that, so that saves me a whole board. That probably won't make it. So, yeah. This is the frame laid out for the final assembly. And this is the beginning of the solution I came up with to so I wouldn't have to spend $100 on a sheet of birch plywood to complete the face of the Jenny bed. Comprised of a selection of long and short boards, approximately 14 to 18 inches long. They were machined in a way that it filled the void and became pleasing to the eye at the same time. No one would know unless I said something, so just don't say anything. I planned it this way. Yeah, that's it. Here I'm getting them all to the same width and smooth edged for joining. Here's the process of shaping them to fit into the void. It was a little labor intensive, but it was worth it. It was fun to do, fun to come up with a process to make it happen, and ended up looking pretty cool. Here I'm smoothing the individual faces. It's on my belt sander there. I call that thing the mangler because it can mangle you. Dimensioning more boards. There's a lot of this going on. It was a lot of fun coming up with all these solutions, just, you know, from wood that's just wood. And you kind of build it on the fly and just come up with solutions for little problems that occur, come up, and you figure out a way to fix it. This is getting more of the boards flat and clean on my little planer. This process here, I had to make the 12-inch boards 16 inches, and the only way to do it is to put two boards together. So it was a new process for me. I had the tool to do it for years and never used it. It's just a biscuit joiner. So put it to work, learned how to use it, and ended up with my 16-inch boards. Here I'm getting the edges nice and clean before joining them. There was several of them that I had to put together to make wider. So this is how I got the edges clean so I could put them together. After joining them though, obviously there's just a hair a little bit wider, you know, so it took some work, more fun, planing wood, just getting stuff to look good, you know. Turned out pretty cool. Planing, lots of planing, lots of sawdust. More edge work. I got to be pretty good with this tool after a while. Glad I bought it. Bought it a long time ago and didn't use it for ever. Probably a couple of years. Now it's indispensable. Another problem solved with my new board stretching techniques. edges. More planing. This was a problem that I came up with. I ended up running short of wood, so to make it all work, I had to stretch a board about 4 inches to make it work for the top, and came up with this little solution, notching a couple of them and gluing them together. Turned out pretty good. Worked out good, actually. All part of that same process. The saw blade on the table saw wasn't big enough, so I had to get in there with my Japanese saw, my pole saw, and finish off the cut. I'm just sizing it up and getting it smooth, flat, so they'll go together perfectly. Took a bit of work. It wasn't too bad though. More fun, more games. Coming up with solutions. Same process, still stretching the same board. Ta-da! And there it is. Just got to get her flat, planed, and on to the next step. This is showing some of the hardware. I bought a kit for the Murphy bed. It's got the shocks and the pivot points, and it makes it all work. So this is some looks of the scene, putting them together. This is the solution I was coming up with these little planks. And there you go. That's what it looks like when it's done. Finish on finally. Just a thinned down version of poly. Just wipe it on there. It comes on real smooth. It makes it, you just got to put a lot of coats on it and makes it durable. Ended up looking pretty cool. Pretty happy with it. Ta-da!
This is so awesome. Look at that. Rob did that all by himself. Look how nice that looks.
Yep, there you go.
Well, I mean, I bought the sheets. Look how easy it goes. Of course, easier if you're 5'8" or taller.
Just got to put a hammer on it. Just had to show this version of the storm that came through while I was working on some of the stuff. Typical Tennessee.